Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I'm JayJay. I'm playing the funky, stupid astronaut bot guy. I'm playing Drew. I'm playing Drew. And with me, I have the lovely, wonderful, amazing.
Hey, you.
Yes.
Stop doing
No.
that.
No heart emoji.
Ugh. Well, I'm Wick. And I'm gonna be playing a baby.
Yes.
Well, specifically, Margaret. Um,
Yes.
but let's see how this goes.
um so I'm having the thought that Drew is in the wonderful town of Somewhere. Yes, Somewhere. What they're doing there specifically, I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead.
Well, what I'm thinking is that, you did speak with a certain other person when visiting somewhere.
I sure did. I
So
sure did.
perhaps there was some time afterward.
To wander around and see the sights because Drew has only been here twice and has specifically gone to one building both of those times. So they're seeing the sights because they like to explore. And the number one thing that they're good at is getting lost. So they're
Happens a
just
mood.
they're just wandering around getting lost. So should I roll survival to see how lost they get?
Uh, yeah, sure, why not?
I already forgot what my first.
Well,
Cool. That's a dirty
uh,
20.
not very lost at all.
Uh.
But maybe it's because a lot of the places are conveniently labeled or have signs and stuff. This place is actually relatively easy to navigate.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so you find yourself passing by like a library and like some stores
Mm
and like I don't know if there's a museum. I'm not actually sure.
hmm.
It says under construction, so we're not sure. But but then something else catches your eye.
Mm
There
hmm.
is a sign that is pointing you in the direction of some community garden.
Okay. Drew doesn't know a lot about gardening, but they want to check that out.
Okay. So you head off in the direction and you turn a corner and it's very easy to see where it is because there's like a little kind of brick wall ish.
hmm.
Like they're very low because there's
Hmm.
also like some gates that would lead you into the gardens.
Hmm.
And it says right on there, the community garden.
Hmm.
Um, and the gates are currently open. So
I think Drew's gonna just look it over and then head inside.
neat. Um, would you would you like to make a perception check?
I absolutely would.
Okay.
Where? There we go. Oof.
Nice.
Oof.
So,
That's a nice 8 there, Drew.
well, it does make sense because as soon as you enter, there's like this rather large courtyard portion in
Mm-hmm.
which sits a rather nice looking fountain. Um,
Oh, nice.
that's probably the first thing that kind of catches your eye, and it's
Mm-hmm.
tough to hear anything with the rushing water. It sounds nice though, um, and there's plenty of foliage about because this is a garden.
Mm-hmm.
So as you kind of look around, you realize that it seems a bit more dense than you thought it would. You're used to like maybe small gardens or like those little flowers that you see on windowsills and stuff,
Mhm.
but like this is something else.
This is a garden.
Well, a community garden, meaning that there's a lot more. Uh, but you kind of just stand there and you're just
Taking the
taking in all this
sights.
stuff. Yep.
Hmm. I think um after a minute or so, Drew might are there benches near the fountain by chance?
Um. Uh. Is there? I'm looking in my brain. Yeah, I would say so.
I think Drew's gonna just sit down on one of the benches and just watch the fountain for a bit, cause sometimes you gotta do that.
Yeah. So you see the the clear running water,
Mhm.
and you may not be the biggest fan of water, but the display is nice.
Mhm.
Um, and sorry, I'm just laughing because you rolled an 8 on your perception.
Uh huh.
So hmm, you you kind of get lost in the fountain sauce here. I mean, because not only is the fountain nice, the brickwork is pretty decent looking too.
Mhm.
You have a feeling that even though this maybe wasn't created like professionally or by contractors,
Mhm.
yeah, that there seems to have been a lot of care and thought put into it.
Mhm. Drew can relate to
But
that.
nice.
Looks at what
but
they do for a job, like.
yeah. but as you are just soaking all of this in, you hear a small voice very close to your left side go, "What are you?" And if you turn to your left,
Uh-huh. Um
it is just a very small child who has now sat on the bench next to you.
I think I think Drew jumps a little bit and turns to look at them because they did not hear anybody come up.
Yeah, that's why I laughed because your perception was an 8 and your stealth was a 12.
um so Drew turns and looks at this person and just um I'm a robot. How did you get here?
So who you see is this little real kind girl
Mhm.
who's just sat next to you on this bench. Um,
Mhm.
they were kind of swinging their legs a little bit, but she stops um, and kind of blinks twice. Um, what's what's a robot?
um it's someone or something that is made out of um usually metal and a lot of mechanical parts. And in my case, also ink.
Uh, so, so you are a tune.
Yes, and they'll nod.
Ah, so it's it's like a warboard.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, I know those. She gives a little smile.
I love her so much. Help.
Um,
Um.
um, I'm Margaret, and she gives another smile.
um.
You you have a name?
Um, just gonna give a smile and like a little wave and just, hi Margaret. My name's Drew.
Drew. Drew. That's a nice name.
Well, thank you.
Mm. Um, I haven't seen you around here before.
I am new to visiting the area.
Well, I am too.
Do you like it here in the garden?
She nods enthusiastically. There's so much stuff. There's a lot of stuff you could do there. You could, um, you could tell she's just trying to think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I was gonna have a tea party, but that didn't really work too well. So, um, I have been watching some of the butterflies. Um, and and um, oh, that's right. There are some berries too.
There's berries in here?
Uh-huh. There are all sorts of plants. I don't really know a lot of stuff, but I think they're really neat.
And she's gonna think for a second and kind of um look around a little because this sure does look like a baby, and there are in fact no adults other than them around here. So where did this baby come from? But they'll just
uh,
no, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
They'll just turn back to her and just you know the garden really well, huh?
Um, I mean, I've kind of wandered around a lot. Um, I well, I've been here for two two days.
In the garden?
No, no, not silly. I've been, but I've explored over the past 2 days.
And she's gonna nod and just. How do you feel about giving me a tour?
And her eyes widen. You could swear that they would sparkle a little. Yes, I can do that. And she gets up onto her feet. You realize this is a pretty small child.
This is a baby. This is the first person Drew has met that isn't Fortune. That's smaller than them.
Yes, and specifically, she's about half a foot shorter than you. So she's not super small, but she's still pretty small.
I love her so much. Oh my gosh. Okay.
She holds out a hand.
Um.
You want to hold hand?
Drew will take her hand, no questions asked.
She giggles a bit. And maybe. So I imagine that she's holding your left hand with her right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hold Snap's hands too?
Drew's gonna kind of cock their head to the side and then look around and just. Sure, and they'll hold their right hand out on their other side as if to take someone's hand, but they don't see anyone and they're kind of confused. But like they know that kids can have imaginary friends, so they imagine that that's what that's like. They're just like, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of it. Sorry to have interrupted.
No, you're fine.
But she kind of gets this odd look at her face. Can you see Snap too?
Just gonna give like a sort of sad smile and just shake their head a little and just I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, oh, um, that's okay. A lot of people can't see them. Cause my mom and dad say that they're um, imaginary. So only I can see.
Well, that's all right. They're still your friend, right?
Mm-hmm. They nod.
Um, does not do you,
And she actually turns to her left,
Mm-hmm.
as if addressing someone. Um, she stops, as if she is listening, and then
oh, um, I'm sorry. Snap wants to hold my hand. Is that okay?
And Drew will give like a smile and nod, like that's all right.
Okay.
and you can see her hold out her hand, her left hand,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of just looks like it's only gripping the air, really.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay. Let's go.
and she looks really excited.
Oh, I love her. Lead the way.
Mm. And so the three of you start walking.
Mm-hmm.
um, you can tell though, even though she's very excited, she kind of goes at a relatively slow pace.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she kind of skips a little bit sometimes. Um,
So, um, what's 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 being a robot like?
I mean, I'll kind of think for a second. Just, I mean, I've only ever known what being a robot is, so I guess, and they sort of get like this, like, very obvious, like, thinking look on their face, like they're trying to figure out how to word it.
Is it cold? You're made of metal.
Mm, sometimes, but not really. I can't really go swimming or get
she
wet.
looks a little confused.
Why not?
Um, well, I don't know about other robots, but for me, getting water in my circuits would be very not good. So
What what are circuits?
mm, they're kind of like, hmm, they're kind of like I can speak. They're like, um, moving parts that help me work.
She nods.
But they can't get wet.
Girls shake their head. Nope. If they get wet, they might stop working.
Oh, and that's bad.
And Drew nods.
Okay.
And you can tell she looks kind of pensive,
Mm-hmm.
but she's just digesting the information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, um, look at this one.
And she's pointing at a nearby tree.
Mm-hmm.
I climbed this one yesterday.
How high up did you get?
Um, half.
Drew nods, like, well, you're a lot better at climbing trees than I am.
You not know how to climb trees?
Drew gets like this slightly pained smile on their face, like, I know how, I'm just really bad at it.
Well, that's okay. Do you want me to teach you?
Maybe some other time. We gotta see the garden first, right?
Oh, oh, right, right. Okay.
And she kind of gets this little determined look on her face, like, yes, I will show this garden. So the three of you continue to walk along.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, you see a lot of the trees. They're actually they're not super big, but they are pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
They provide some nice shading as you walk along the brick path.
Mm-hmm.
And as you continue to walk, there are a couple of butterflies that flit by, and you can see. Actually, you could roll a perception if you'd like.
Yeah, hell yeah. I forgot the D. There
Funny.
we go.
Well, as you occasionally glance at Margaret, you notice that her eyes follow the butterflies, and it kind of looks like she wants to chase after them, but she has a mission. She points them out.
Yeah, I follow one of them. I didn't get very far. There was a river, and you can't cross it without getting all wet. And I didn't want to get wet because I didn't want to get my stockies messed up.
I'm just gonna nod and just. You like chasing them?
Mhm. They're really pretty. And
Just.
it's like really quick.
Just gonna look up at the butterflies again and just kind of nod like, yeah.
I wish I could fly. But I think I'll learn.
And she kind of gives a bright smile.
Do you want to fly?
You can roll insight if you want.
Oh no! Uh-oh, this baby's insight is not great, you realize. So, that's a 12. Kind of decent, I guess.
Drew just kind of gets like this, like, I don't want to say fond, but it's not pained either. They get this smile on their face and just, I used to.
Used to. Oh. Is it because you don't have any wings?
No, it's not because I don't have any wings.
Oh, good. Because I don't have any either. But I don't think you need to. Because I'm going to learn how to fly. I'm going to be great wizard.
And she kind of throws her hands in the air like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Drew just gets a big smile on their face and just, you know, if you become a wizard, you're gonna have to show me all of your magic spells then.
I will.
And she's just, again, like, very determined, has like a little fist, like, yeah.
I love her so much.
And Snap says I can do it. So, I think I can. Right, Snap?
And again, she turns to her left. You don't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then she gives an affirmative nod.
But we haven't gotten to the berries yet.
Mm-hmm.
This way.
And she tugs on your hand again.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna go ahead and follow her. And still keep hold of her hand.
This time she actually does kind of trot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not really running, but kind of quick walking.
Mm-hmm.
And you go down a couple of weaving paths until there are, there have been bushes lining the sides of the paths,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only when you get around here that you start to see little berries. And she kind of just points excitedly.
Look, there it is.
She gets like a big grin on her face, like. I don't think they say anything. They're just like amazed at the berries.
Berry. I like strawberries, but they don't really have any strawberries. I don't think they're I don't think they're out. I don't think they're awake yet.
And she kind of just gives a shrug, like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But these ones,
And she kind of crouches down a little, which makes her even smaller, but she
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
she gets kind of eye level with the berries.
Mm-hmm.
but these ones are here.
I think Drew's gonna crouch down with her and just take a closer look.
Would you? Let me see. I guess you could roll investigation or history or something.
They're the same.
Okay.
I was gonna argue nature, but it's the same too, so.
Oh, well, it could be any of them. I'm giving you information on berry.
Holy crap.
Holy crap. You you bend down to be eye level, and these look like nice, shiny, and round red berries.
Mm-hmm.
They do look I guess relatively ripe.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't too familiar with fruits, or at least wild ones.
Nope.
But they do seem to be like fully grown. As to what they are, though, you realize that these are holly berries.
I think Drew's going to carefully pick one and look it over.
Uh-huh.
And then they're gonna pop it in their mouth.
Oh, you're gonna bruh.
They don't know any better, and neither do I.
No. Okay. You do that. You want to roll a con save?
Sure.
Bruh.
Hold on, I hit a button and ended up somewhere else.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Okay.
16. You munch on this berry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more tart than you expected,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't taste really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what you kind of expected from a berry. It kind of has it's like very slightly sweet, but it's mostly like an earthy and a little bit tart.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes like a kind of a crunch.
Maybe
Maybe they weren't as ripe, but like it's a nice crunch, kind of
mm-hmm.
like a cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you eat that. And Margaret says,
And they taste.
I would not consider that my favorite thing that I've ever eaten, but it's not bad. Crunchy though.
Really crunchy. Can I have one?
Oh no.
and she looks excitedly at the berries. I see that D2.
Uh-huh. I think she's going to give like a kind of like sort of sad smile and just, I'm not sure these are berries we should be eating.
What do you mean?
Do you want to make a perception check?
Yeah. Oof.
All right, cool. I mean, you do kind of just see her frown, and really you're focused on both this berry bush and
mm-hmm.
so So it's only until Margaret uh, grows kind of wide-eyed. You realize that she is no longer looking at you; she's looking past you.
Okay. I want to turn around and see what she's looking at.
You turn around, and as you do, um, a voice says, "What do you think you're doing
I just got like physically like a deer in the headlights look.
there?"
Um we're looking at the berries.
Those ones there. And
Just gonna look at them and then turn back around and nod.
uh, so the figure approaches more,
Uh-huh.
I get to show you the first ref.
Yes. I'm sus. Automatically. I'm so sus. Okay.
So yes, you do see this. I will say, very tall individual. I mean, you are currently crouched down, but you realize that even if you did stand up, this person would tower over you. You can see that they're dressed in like a greenish cloak, and you can't really see too much of their face. But they continue. Did you eat one of those?
She kind of like looks at Margaret and then looks back up at this person and is just, I ate one.
The child did not.
No.
Good. And hold on. Let me see. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh.
But I think I could do this then. All right, great.
Holy shit. That is.
There were 2 rolls. The modifier is -2. There's a 15 and a -1.
Holy shit.
Luckily, this is at advantage. So
okay, thank God.
I have a 15. You're surprised as they come even closer and crouch down as well to kind of be around the same level as you guys. They seem to be looking you over. Perhaps that's not something.
Just
and they
eyes kind of
seem to be
squint
thinking.
a little. Can I help you with something?
Yes. Have you been? How long ago did you eat that?
I'm not wearing a watch, but like a minute ago.
Okay. Please notify me of any other symptoms. Those are hollyberries, as he points. Hollyberries are poisonous to consume.
Poisonous? But what's that mean?
He pauses for a moment and then goes, "It makes your tummy hurt."
That's not good. Are you gonna be okay?
And she's talking to you now. They'll be fine. You can tell that there's kind of a questioning tone, but they're just kind of like, I guess.
They're like, this is a robot. Hell if I know. Just kind of gonna give Margaret a confident grin and just, I'm not worried about it.
But your tummy. What if it feels bad?
It wouldn't be the first time. I'll be okay.
But she still looks a little worried, but then she nods.
And she's gonna look back to the person in the cloak and just, if it's all right, who are you?
Who am I? Oh, that is right. We are not acquainted. And he stands back up.
Mm-hmm.
I take care of these gardens.
Okay.
Oh, so you're a gardener.
Yes, the garden.
Neat.
And she kind of Margaret kind of walks around you, Drew,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of to stand to kind of see more of the figure.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that she is literally half this person's height.
She's small.
I love her. Just, can I get your name at least?
I suppose. They seem to hesitate for a moment, but Margaret goes,
Gardener. Gardener? Is that your name, or that's how you do? Like the people at my house, right?
and just kind of lightly tugging on the side of their cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And they turn to kind of face Margaret. No, that is. Yes. I tend to the plants here.
Oh, yeah, that's what they do. So we can't eat those.
And she points again at the berries. No. And she looks a little dejected.
Oh.
But if you insist on eating berries, there are others.
Others? Yeah.
And she kind of looks like, huh? This way. And without another word, they just kind of turn around. They start walking down the path.
Drew's a little sus because this person has yet to answer their question of what is your name, but they'll get up and they'll offer their hand to Margaret again.
Margaret had been kind of trotting forward a little, but when you offer a hand, she's like,
Okay.
and takes your hand again.
What kind of berries? What kind of berries are there?
And this figure does not answer. They just continue walking. But it's only a short distance.
Mm-hmm.
Then like another left and another right. And there's kind of this much smaller section. And there does seem to be like fruit and vegetable plants around here.
Hell yeah.
This would be more appropriate. But they stop to like explain, but Margaret just kind of trots past them.
Wow. There's are these blueberries?
And she points. There is a berry bush there, and they do have blueberries on them.
Mm-hmm.
But the figure shakes their head. No, those aren't blueberries. That's a species of heather that produce salal berries.
What are those?
She just kind of looks from the bush to the figure.
Mm-hmm.
Can I eat them?
They just give a nod.
Are they like blueberries? I do like those.
And she picks one. But instead of eating it, she turns to you, Drew, and kind of offers it up silently.
Just gonna give her like a very gentle smile and take it and just pop it in their mouth.
And I will say, both for you and the audience, you don't have to roll a con save for that.
Whew.
Yeah, don't worry. You can tell that this berry tastes a lot different. It is not overly sweet, but it is it does have a tempered sweetness to it. But if you have had blueberries before, they do have a different flavor profile. And they are kind of juicy too.
Oh, nice.
They have less of a crunch, but that's probably a good thing.
Oh my god.
So Margaret picks another one and and kind of takes it, kind of pops it in her mouth.
It's not different. It's good though.
And she kind of munch.
I love her so much. She just kind of smiles and watches as she eats a couple, and like they're content with the one that they got. In the back of their mind, they are a little worried about having eaten something poisonous, but like they only had one. They're not that worried about it.
Do you want to roll another perception?
Yes. Hey, 22.
Well, okay. I don't think this will. Yep, there it be.
Oof.
You can tell the entire time the figure is staring at both of you.
I think she's gonna keep their eye on Margaret, but they're kind of gonna lean in a little towards the figure and just like a side lean, and I still didn't catch your name, if that's all right.
Come on.
What was it?
I'll spell it as well.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Thank you. Drew's gonna nod. I'm Drew.
It's nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And then Margaret hears both of you talking. You can tell though, as she turns around to face you two, her face is like covered in the berry juice.
And I'm Margaret. It's nice to meet you.
And you can she gives a smile, but it's still all over her face.
Okay, we're good. Everything's fine.
25.
Yeah, that was a
What is
con
that?
save. Not for Drew's stomach though.
Okay.
It was to see whether or not they would get wiped out by how cute Margaret is, but they got a 25, so they're fine. However, that was a hammer space roll, so I think they're going to reach into their cube on their back, and they're gonna pull out like a couple of napkins and just walk over to Margaret and help her try to wipe her face off. Because it's got berry juice all over it.
And so wait, do you like just hand the napkins to her, or do you like literally try to wipe it off of her face?
I try to wipe it off.
And she makes like that little face that like that kids make, you know, when you're trying to wipe something off their face. But you feel the figure step up, and so you can feel them like beside you a bit. I think this might help. And they actually hold out a water skin. You might need to dampen them first.
Drew nods and they'll take it and just very carefully wet the napkins and stuff and try to wipe her face off again.
And again, she makes the slightly noises. But she is staying still. Now. Those are safe to eat, but you must be careful as to how many. And they kind of peer around Margaret to see the bush. Luckily, they had only plucked a few off of there. But I guess maybe they're just a messy eater. That should be enough for today.
Okay.
And when the whole cleaning is done, she kind of absentmindedly wipes at her face a bit, but then goes,
Thank you. Sorry.
Just gonna smile and just, it's no trouble, and they'll stick the napkins in the back into their hammer space. They'll throw those out later. They're not gonna litter. One, littering's bad. Two, Shalon is right there.
You notice though, as you finish up with Margaret, the figure is kind of drifted and is kind of looking at the other plants that are there.
So you take care of this place
Yes,
all by yourself?
they are quiet for a moment, but then they say, "No, I have some help. Sometime." She nods.
Does it count the trees too?
And she's pointing at a couple of trees. Some of them, yes. And I'll take your perception from earlier. You notice that she's looking excitedly at the trees, like, you know. But hold on, let me. Okay, I just gotta roll something. Good, as I thought.
Oh, jeez.
Without another word, she trots over to the trees. And as she kind of wraps her arms around one of the trees, you realize she is making an attempt to climb the tree. But I don't know how good her climbing skills are. Let's see. You see the figure turn around and is just observing them. But as she begins to kind of shimmy up a little bit, they approach more.
Her or me?
Oh, they approach her.
Okay.
Now you do need to be careful. And you can see as they're saying that she does kind of slip with one of her feet, but she kind of like puts it back on there.
I'm okay. I do this a lot.
And you can tell she's about a third of the way up.
I think Drew's gonna walk over to the base of the tree and just be sort of at the ready because they don't want her to get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, you notice that once you do, the figure also accompanies you. So, like, you might be standing on one side, but they're standing, like, next to you or, like, near the other side. So now you're both watching this kid climb a tree.
Don't go up too high.
It's okay. The snap will catch me.
And she keeps going.
Internally, Drew's, like, very unsure about that, but
you can tell as she keeps going, she seems to have a better grip on things. And luckily, this is one of the smaller trees. So soon she gets to kind of like, you know, one of those kind of, you can kind of nestle into that spot, like where some branches meet. Yeah, she kind of just plops there.
See? Why don't you come up here with me?
I can try. I guess I'm rolling dex to see if I can climb a tree.
Well, it can be dex or it can be athletics because I let Margaret use athletics.
Cool, I'm gonna use athletics because it's a much
I feel like
better
it's only
mire.
fair. I was like, I should let them use athletics.
Here we go. Holy
18.
fuck.
Nice. You see, so you start climbing up. And you can tell that this tree is not very difficult to climb.
Mm-hmm.
It does have like a lot of like notches and kind of bumps on it, so it's kind of easy to find some holds to grab onto.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of steadily make your way up.
Mm-hmm.
But you only make it about halfway. Can you roll again? Because I rolled twice for her.
Yep.
So
it is only fair. Oops, wait.
that's the wrong one.
Yep.
I was like, oh god. 14. You can tell though, as you get higher up, there are less holds, or rather, they're much smaller. Maybe that's why she had an easier time on the second half.
Mm-hmm.
But you still manage to pull yourself up, and there's another little spot where you can sit that's nearby her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you made it. You said you didn't know how to climb trees.
Normally when I try to climb stuff, it doesn't work out that well.
And she kind of giggles a little.
But that's okay. I fall sometimes too.
But you can see her swinging her little legs again.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looks down.
Aren't you gonna come up too?
She calls to the figure.
Mm-hmm.
They look up, but they don't really say anything.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they want to come up and hang out with us.
Well, maybe they don't know how to climb a tree.
And she kind of looks like, huh, I don't know.
I don't know.
You can do it. You can climb tree.
Nah. She kind of like pats the spot that's near you guys, but on the other side. I shall stay down here.
Aw, why?
That tree can only support 2 people.
Oh. But
And she kind of looks around.
but it's big.
Yes, but it is not very strong. Be sure not to stay there for too long. And they kind of like take a slight step back as if to indicate, yeah, you can climb down now, please.
I think Drew will wait a minute and then turn to Margaret and just, I'll climb down first and then you can follow me down, okay?
Okay.
And she smiles and kind of wiggles a little bit like, yeah, we both sat up here and now we're going back down.
I think Drew will slowly start climbing back down, probably using like the same notches and footholds they used to get up here.
I do want you to roll one more time. I won't have you roll twice, but just
Okay.
once.
I can do that.
Oh, well, you did exactly as you said. You literally just follow the same path back down. That's a 26. Nat 20, baby.
Nat 20.
So, yeah, you make it pretty easily, very easily back down. Just following the same way you went up. And as you turn around, you're nearly face to face with this figure. But they don't say anything. They just look back up to where Margaret is.
Okay. I guess I'm coming down too.
Drew's gonna face the tree and specifically be ready. Just in case. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
And I guess she follows your example as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as she climbs on down. There is something I want to roll as well.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
Ah,
Uh-oh.
okay, cool. All right, so she climbs about 2/3 of the way down, and she kind of turns her head to look. She looks at both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and she kind of gets a smile on her face,
Uh-oh.
and you have a feeling it's kind of a knowing smile.
Uh-oh.
And then she goes, "Sweet!"
Oh my god, I'm rolling decks.
And she leaps off of there.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't.
Yes, roll dex.
Oh god. Oh god. Drew! You fucking idiot.
Well, here's what happens.
Oh god.
You reach out your arms and you attempt to catch her. However, you're at the base of the tree and she leaped outward. So she kind of leaps over you.
Oh god.
And crashes directly into the figure behind you.
Oh my god.
And they both kind of tumble to the ground.
Wasted.
I mean, she's okay because she landed pretty much on top of him.
Oh my god.
But the figure kind of lands to the ground.
I think Drew's gonna run over and just carefully open their arms to pick up Margaret. They won't do it without her like permission, but they open their arms to do it, and they're like, "Are you guys okay?"
And I can imagine like this happened in slow mo as you're looking around to see her leap past you and onto this figure. But as you approach the two of them, you notice that Margaret is totally fine, but she also is slightly covered in flower petals.
Oh, I'm okay. Wait, are you okay?
And then she stops as the figure kind of sits up. And you both notice that this entire thing has knocked their hood off.
Okay.
So you now see what they look like.
Uh-huh.
And I have another ref for this.
Uh-huh.
And as Shalom sits up, you realize that the flower petals had come from his hair.
Oh, shit. Yo. Okay.
Please be more careful.
Oh, but I knew one of you would catch me.
And she made a smiley face. And hold on, I want to roll something else. Great.
Oh my god.
That was a perception check to notice that his hood has come off.
Oh my god.
He has not noticed.
I think
as long as you are okay. And he kind of brushes a little of the petals off of her.
Flowery. I'm okay though.
But as she turns to you, Drew, she kind of holds her arms out like uppy.
Drew will go ahead and carefully pick her up, and
she's very light, by the way.
They'll hold her with one arm and then offer their other arm out to Shalon to help him stand up.
They do not take your hand. They just kind of get to their feet. No trouble.
I think Drew will then like make a motion with their free hand of like putting on a hood.
Let me roll some insight on that to see if they get it. They do not.
Oh my god, that is a -1.
Because they rolled a nat 1 and they have a -2.
I think
They just kind of blink at you.
um
And their expression doesn't change very much.
mhm.
But you can tell that they have no idea what you're trying to do.
I think Drew's just gonna your hood fell off.
My hood, and you can tell that like at first they're like, huh, and then it's like, oh, and they kind of, it looks like they're fidgeting with like the front of their hood as they're trying to like put it back up, but it's very difficult because their hair is very long, and you notice that their hair is like covered with flowers and leaves. But would you like to roll insight?
Yeah. I'm scared, but yeah.
Ooh, dirty 20. Let's go. You notice that they seem to be a bit flustered. Maybe they prefer to kind of keep themselves hidden, or at the very least, as they bat away a couple of the flowers, it occurs to you that maybe they don't like that happens. And you know, but also what you notice is this is a real kind elf by the looks of it. But as they continue their endeavor of trying to put their hood back up, you notice that they get little blush marks. So that's interesting.
My mic is not picking me up, but I'm like nodding and saying a lot. I think Drew's just kind of gonna look down and just wait until they have their hood back up, because like they can tell, and like this person would rather be seen only with their hood up, so they're gonna wait until they're ready to, respect privacy.
Yes, very good, Drew. Margaret, however.
Why are you putting your hood up?
Well, she continues.
Your hair's really pretty. And the flowers are nice.
They don't say anything, but they do stop for a moment. Not really a thing that is good.
Why not?
And they pause. They're thinking about it. You see them kind of glance from side to side. Then he says, well, if it's only you two, I guess it is not bad. And he kind of lets the hood go. But I trust that you are all right. And Margaret nods. Okay. They again brush a stray flower petal and leaf off of their cloak. And he kind of, he gives like a small sigh. Like, yeah, that's a thing. That happened. But now he kind of just stands there. I'll take your insight from before. You, especially with the hood off, you realize that he's pretty straight-faced, and but you get the vibe that like he's not really sure what to do now. He's just kind of standing there.
I have a request I would like to make. Can I roll history?
Yes, you can. Oh, that's another dirty 20. As he stands before you, in this, and you know, you can now see the entirety of him, for the most part. Yeah. You kind of just study him in the light, and you recognize them.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize them from somewhere, but no, it couldn't be. But your eyes flash, and you realize that they were in the photo
Mm-hmm.
in the apartment. Though in that photo they didn't have all those flowers.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you recognize this individual.
Uh-huh. I fucking bet I do, huh?
Yeah.
I think uh Drew is going to shift Margaret and in fact set her up on their shoulders so she's sitting on their shoulders now.
What?
And
And she didn't expect it, but she's like, "Whoa!" And then she kind of settles in on top of your shoulders.
she's never been this tall before, and they'll carefully take hold of her ankles so she doesn't fall, and they'll squint at Shalon and just, I think I know you.
You know me, and they kind of tilt their head a little. And hold on, let me roll.
Uh-huh.
Ah, okay. And a question mark kind of appears near the side of their head, but goes away quickly.
Mm-hmm. Do you know Loretta from inside?
Loretta. Oh. You can tell the smallest amount of their eyebrows kind of furrow very slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're pretty blank faced, but are you talking about my wife?
Drew's gonna nod like, yeah.
And how do you know of her?
Well, the first instance was that I took one of her baking classes.
Ah,
The second instance is something you're probably gonna want to sit down for.
uh, again, he stares rather blankly at you, but again, you get the vibe. They're kind of confused.
Uh-huh.
Margaret's just looking between, like, looking down at you, Drew, and looking up at
Uh-huh.
Shallon. And oh, by the way, now that you have Margaret on your shoulders,
Uh-huh.
You guys are a foot taller than Shallon.
Our
What are
powers
you guys
combined.
talking about?
Um, just gonna kind of make a motion with their head and just let's go back to the fountain. I have something to tell you.
Actually, if you do not mind, I have a better idea.
Okay.
And they gesture a little farther up the path.
Okay.
There is an area for tea. And Margaret goes, tea! And just, they're gonna walk up the path like, yeah, let's go have some tea.
Yep, Drew's gonna follow them.
And as you do, you can hear Margaret kind of humming a little as they kind of they hold onto your head a little.
I've never been this tall.
You can wear my hat if you want.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They will immediately take you up on that.
Uh-huh. So she takes the hat off and the antenna just springs up like
And they kind of poke at it.
Drew just gets a grin on their face, but
She puts on the hat, and the two of you make your way. You only have to turn one corner, and there's again like another little clearing-ish. It's not as large as the courtyard with the fountain, but there is a little area, and there are a few tables and chairs. Seems to be a place for if you want to have a little lunch or some tea. And in fact, there is already a teapot there with a couple of cups.
Hell yeah.
And he kind of makes a motion like, yeah, you guys can go sit.
I think Drew will walk over to a chair and carefully pluck Margaret off of their shoulders and set her down and like push the chair in, and then they'll take a seat beside her.
And he kind of giggles as you take her down and push your seat in.
You get to have your tea party after all.
Yeah.
And she actually looks pretty happy.
What kind of tea?
And as you have taken your seat and Shalom sits down. It's which one did I make? And you see him kind of like lift the lid.
Uh-huh.
I think it's yes, must be that. He closes the lid. I did take up some of the blueberry plant.
Blueberries. There are blueberries.
Well, they're not exactly in season. These were from previous. You get the feeling though, Margaret doesn't really know what that means.
Uh-huh.
You can see that nearby there's like a setup that you can kind of warm up the tea. You can easily tell that it's not electric as they kind of like light a little flame and just that they kind of picked up a box of matches. So he's gonna warm up the tea because it's outside, so it's not like you really have a stove or anything. But he gets that set up, and you can see Margaret kind of playing a little with her teacup as Shalom turns to you. So there is something that you needed to discuss.
Yeah. I kind of talked to Loretta about it already, but
You can tell his eyes narrow just a little bit.
They kind of swallow and just. When was the last time you saw Subtle?
Damn,
like there is
Damn, you're really going for the throat.
There is no easy way to drop this bomb. Drew is very
There really
aware
is
of
no
that.
easy way to it.
So.
Uh-oh.
Oof.
That's what we say.
Oh hell.
You had noticed that he had been only a little bit tense. Not very much so. Perhaps it's just because, you're essentially strangers to him. But as soon as you say Subtle's name, the gaze that he had been looking out into the garden, just a little distracted, his eyes suddenly snap over to you. How did you know about that? Why do you ask? Who are you?
One question at a time. Why do I know about that?
Their name's Drew.
And Margaret points at you. I know that.
How do I know about that? Loretta mentioned his name in class vaguely, and I recognized it. Um, I already forget the other two questions that Shalon asked me.
That's okay. I want you to roll insight.
Cool. Uh-oh. 24.
Ooh, yeah. Well, to be fair, you wouldn't be very good at hiding it.
Uh-huh.
When you mentioned that Loretta had mentioned subtle, he kind of gets this look like, yeah, that sounds like that would happen.
Uh-huh.
But it seems like a mixture of nostalgia and slight irritation.
Uh-oh.
But but then when you say that you recognized it, his eyes are immediately back on you.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you recognize it from? Was it the flyers, the newspaper?
No, not really.
Now they do look a little puzzled.
There's no easy way to explain this, but
Are they alive?
yes.
Okay, so and you hear him mutter, so you didn't find their grave, right?
No.
Immediately eyes back on you.
He's my current roommate, and he's currently going by Austin.
You can see now, his eyebrows do noticeably furrow, and the corner of his eyes kind of crinkle a little.
Uh-huh.
What? He changed his name.
I don't know if it's a legal change or just an alias.
And now resides with you?
More like I'm residing with him, but yeah.
This man just looks very puzzled, but
just kind of looking down at the table in like a death stare, like this is the most awkward thing they've ever been through.
Meanwhile, Margaret's just vibing.
She's having the time of her life. She gets to have her tea party and everything.
Yeah, she continues to play with the cup, but she is listening to both of you. And hold on, I wonder. Let me roll something.
Uh-oh.
So should I do that one or that one? Okay, I think I'm gonna do that. Give me a second. 14 is not bad. She seems to be putting a couple things together.
Who's Sato? You know them? Are they a person? Are they a tune?
And she's asking a few questions. But Shalom now turns to Margaret. He is my son.
Oh, I didn't know he had a son. Is he like me? Or
He's older.
Okay.
And again, she's just kind of swinging her legs like, yeah, I'm following this just fine.
I love her so much.
But again, he shows his attention to you.
Uh-huh.
Still a straight stare.
Uh-huh.
And may I ask where you two are residing?
I was kind of gonna wait to tell him that I met Loretta, and I guess now also you, to bring him here if he wanted.
He looks a little pensive and then says, yes, I think that does make sense. But he gives a little sigh and does sit back a moment. Is he happy?
And she just kind of like looks up at Shalon like, I think so.
It's a nod. Good.
Why?
Why?
Drew nods.
It's important for him to be happy.
I mean, I can agree with you on that, but
How long have you two known each other?
she kind of stops to think for a minute. Um, we met in August. But
And
we only
it's now. And they kind of think for a moment, like, yeah, what month is it? And then that's
It's
about
been what?
7 months, 8.
Something like that, yeah. And Drew nods.
I see. But then you hear like a very slight whistling sound.
Mm-hmm.
And now he turns to the teapot.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of picks it up, kind of holds it in the air for a moment, and then sets it down.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going to pick it back up and serve the tea.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, tea. And he pours each of you a cup. He does wait for Margaret to stop playing with her cup. Which she does, kind of retracts her hands a little, and then as he pours, do not touch it yet. It may be hot. And she just kind of nods. She's very serious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he pours one for you, and then one for himself, and then sets the teapot
Drew will take like a little sip.
down. Can you roll a con save?
Oh boy. Oops.
Well, it still counts.
Yep.
That's a 24. I only had you roll that because it's very hot.
Yeah, that's okay.
But you are by now pretty experienced with drinking tea.
Uh-huh.
And the way that you kind of blow on it and let it cool for just a moment, carefully, ever so carefully take a sip.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, you don't get like burned or it's really hot or anything.
I managed to not burn the entire inside of my mouth in the excitement of drinking tea.
Yes. I know, I've done that. You take a sip. And it actually has a relatively nice flavor. It doesn't have any sugar in it, so it is more of a kind of earthy, but it does have a a subtle sweetness to it. And it is certainly not burnt.
Oh,
so that's
thank
good.
God.
You do see though that Shalom does not take a sip of their tea yet.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to watch you.
Mm-hmm. You can ask any questions about him if you want, and I'll give vague answers.
At this, they ever so slightly raise an eyebrow. Vague?
Um, I did the same thing with Loretta because um she wanted to respect that he was an adult now and had his own life. So I'll answer whatever questions you have. Just vague answers, that's all.
He mutters something. Do you want to roll perception?
Yes, please. Fuck.
9. Well, you know that he muttered something.
Mm-hmm.
But what you notice is that it is in a different language.
Cool. Do I recognize it?
Not with that roll.
Damn it.
Though it does sound very vaguely familiar.
Uh-huh.
But, he looks away as he mutters this, but then looks back to you.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Is still not attending school, yes?
No, he's not in school.
He nods. Has he been reading?
She kind of gives a nod, like, there sure are a lot of books at the apartment.
He grows quiet. Has he shed any malice against her?
Drew's gonna shake their head slowly, like, not against you. I don't think.
He slowly nods. You two are a companion?
You can roll insight if you want.
Me knowing this man has shit insight. But that's how I built him, baby. Oh, 13. That's decent.
Drew kind of gets this soft smile on their face, and you can tell that it's genuine when they say this. They kind of like look down to the table and thought, and just, he's my best friend.
I see. There is no trace of a smile, but you can tell that his eyes soften a bit. That's good to hear. Meanwhile, Margaret has been blowing constantly at her tea. And then now takes a sip.
I didn't know you were gonna pour actual tea.
Of course I would.
Well, sometimes we play pretend. Oh, that's right. You didn't pour for Snap.
And yes, you do notice that the three of you have cups, but there is no fourth cup. Well, there is a fourth cup, but it does not have any tea in it. He kind of just sits there a moment. Do they want tea?
Uh-huh. Right, Snap? You want tea?
And she's speaking to the chair that's very clearly empty to the right of her. And he again pauses a moment. Then very slowly picks up the teapot and pours a cup of tea. And then sets it back down. Just know that was from your friend Margaret and not me. He speaks directly to the chair. Margaret looks a little confused, but she's like,
Thank you for the tea.
Oh, I love her.
she takes another sippy.
She's just rolling with this. Like, this is a baby, Your Honor.
And, but now, after taking a sip of his own tea, Shallan faces you again. So, when do you plan on telling him? And how?
I hadn't thought it all the way through yet because I wanted to be sure about Loretta before I told him, but I'm telling him soon, very soon. I don't want to keep a secret like this from him. And they sort of like shake their head.
That's probably the best. Margaret just kind of blinks.
Secret. There's a secret.
She kind of gives like a small but like pained smile to her and just at the moment.
Wait.
And hold on, just scribble again. Oh yeah, no, now she's losing it.
Oh no.
Yeah, she kind of, she's only been getting bits and pieces now at this rate. So she's, I mean, especially with the back and forth questions.
Wait. So you did I not know that he's dad?
And she just points to Shallan. She goes, no, that isn't the secret.
When she asks that, Drew tries not to laugh.
Then what is it?
It's more that he doesn't know that I know his dad.
Oh.
And she kind of gets a, like, again, like she furrows her brows and looks kind of like,
But you two just met, so that's okay, I think.
Drew's gonna nod a little.
You are gonna tell him though, right?
Drew nods again, like, yeah, I'm gonna tell him.
yes, you can keep very little secrets from him. And takes another sip of tea.
Drew's gonna give him a look, and can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, I guess.
Hello?
17. As he takes another sip, you kind of process what he has said. How do I phrase this? I'm trying to think how to phrase this. You get the feeling maybe when he was younger, Austin might have been a bit of a snoop. But as you see Shallan studying both you and Margaret carefully, you have another feeling you might know where Austin gets it from. Or at least that's what you could assume.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Just man. Okay. They won't make any comment on it. They'll just take another sip of tea and do you want to see him again?
seems quiet a while. You can tell that he's thinking about it as his eyes kind of just glance over you and Margaret, the tea, the trees. But before he answers, Margaret goes,
I see him.
You want to see him?
and she nods.
I like making new friends. Is that okay?
And she's kind of looking between the two of you, like, hmm?
She kind of smiles and just, yeah, I can bring him to meet you.
For me, I would only like to see him if he decides that.
And Drew kind of nods, like, Loretta said the same thing.
Did she?
They'll nod again. Pretty much.
And he nods back. And Margaret is very happy. You can see her like rocking a little in her seat, like, yeah.
I love her so much. I'm trying to like figure out how Drew would phrase this.
It's okay, take your time.
They're gonna look at Shalon and just how do you feel?
You want to roll insight?
Yep. God damn
that's
it.
a nat 1.
God damn it.
He kind of just stares a little blankly.
Uh-huh.
And says, well, I do feel relieved in that he is safe, I presume. And again, he kind of looks at you like, I sure hope he's safe.
Drew nods like, he's safe.
And I am glad that he has found a friend in you. But you don't really get much more
Nope.
out of him.
Because I fucking rolled a nat 1.
And
Damn
you know
it.
what? That's okay.
Drew kind of nods and just, I'm glad I found a friend in him too.
And then Margaret goes,
I can't wait to be friends with all of you.
Oh, I love her so much. Drew gets this grin on his face and just, I'll come back and pick more berries with you. How about that?
and Margaret gives a smile. But Shalom goes, if you are going to pick berries, please let me know ahead of time.
Drew's gonna nod like, I can do that.
After all, some of the plants are not mine. So, I need to have permission.
Drew nods like, they get it. They get that.
Yeah.
I think they'll finish off their tea and just, yeah.
Yeah, no, Shallon's also gonna finish their tea. And you can see Margaret, after looking at the two of you finishing your tea, starts chugging hers. Well, maybe not chugging, but she kind of sips heartily at it. But he then looks over.
Oh, snap! You haven't had your tea.
And she points to the teacup.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps they didn't care for the tea.
Oh, well, I thought it was good.
And she has like a very small sad face, looking at the cup of tea there. That is all right. I do not take any offense.
Okay.
No. But you can tell, again, she's kind of playing with the teacup a little.
Mm-hmm.
Her own, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, hold on, I wonder if... Oh, he will. Okay. He is kind of looking at the empty chair, but then speaks to Margaret. Are they your guardian?
Snap? Oh, Snap's my friend.
Huh. And you can tell that he is thinking of something,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not quite sure what. All right. I suppose then we are done with this meeting.
Drew's gonna nod.
And Margaret nods too. She seems to kind of jump out from her chair.
It was really fun.
And you can tell that Shalom looks at her. Not once has he smiled, but again, his eyes soften a little.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am glad you have enjoyed yourself. And as for you, and he now addresses you, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep me posted.
Drew's nod, like, I can do that.
And as the sun actually begins to set a bit,
Mm-hmm.
Shalom kind of cleans some of the teacups and teapot, like to put it on a tray.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think Drew's gonna walk over to Margaret and see if she wants another ride.
and just and again makes the little uppy hands motion.
Mm-hmm. And they'll pick her up the way that they had her before, like with one hand and everything, or one arm, I should say.
Now, the two of you, be careful. All right.
She's gonna nod, like, I got it.
We'll be okay. You'll see.
And she gives a smile too.
I love her. Drew gives Shallon a nod before turning to leave.
And you, be more cognizant. Yes. But you realize, he is not talking to you or to Margaret. He's talking to the space behind the two of you.
I've never had a smile be so quickly slapped off my face. I thought this was about me eating poisonous shit.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Margaret only looks slightly puzzled as she looks from Shalom to the space behind the two of you.
Uh-huh.
What does cognizant mean?
Drew kind of looks to the space and then back to Shallon and just, it means to know about something, I think.
Oh. Well, Snap knows a lot of things. I think we're gonna be okay.
You can tell without an insight roll. Shalon does not look convinced. But all he does is nod. And with that, he walks away with the tray,
Mm-hmm.
leaving you guys to go where you would like.
I think just gonna get a small grin on their face and just, you want to explore the garden a little bit more before we head back?
Margaret kind of looks down to look at your face, and you can tell she has a very bright smile on her face.
Yeah, let's go.
Drew will plop her back up on their shoulders and just point me in the direction you want to go, and we'll go.
Okay.
And then just kind of points straight forward. And I'd like to think that we end with the two of you kind of walking through the leaves as the sun is about halfway set,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels a bit cooler as you walk among the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And you still see one or two butterflies flit about.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of zoom out on that scene. And I think that's about it.
Heck yeah, this was so fucking good. I'm just sitting here.
Well, thank you very much for playing with me.
Thank you for playing, and thank you to listeners in the future who are listening to this. This was so
Yeah.
fucking good. Oh.
Hope y'all have a nice time zone.
Bye bye.